Yo, what up YouTube? So as you may know, I've been posting a bunch of PlayStation 2 era games on my YouTube lately, and they've been doing really good, so appreciate you guys. However, a lot of you guys been asking, right? How do you play this game? How is it looking so good? First off, you need a computer. Secondly, I'll teach you everything in this video. All the links would be in the description for all of you lazy motherfuckers out there. Now let's get straight into it. The first link that's gonna be down below is the actual PCSX2 emulator. Go ahead and download the nightly build. Secondly, you're gonna need the PlayStation 2 BIOS. We're gonna start with the BIOS files, which is basically the PlayStation 2 boot files. Go ahead and make a new folder, name it PS2 BIOS. Drag and drop all the files into there. Now for the second file, which should be the actual PCSX2 emulator, go ahead and make another folder, name it PS2 or whatever the hell you want, and we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste all of those files into there again. Now, if I'm being honest with you, you're already pretty much set up. Once you open that PS2 folder, PCSX2-QT is the application of the actual emulator. You can always create a shortcut so you can have it, somewhere on your desktop, and you don't need to click the folder every time. But for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and run anyway. Now this build is a little outdated. There's already a newer version, so download and install. Get very used to this. On the nightly build of PCSX2, it's always constantly being updated, which is a beautiful thing. I wouldn't see why that's a problem, but it does get a little annoying getting updates every so often. The first thing that you're gonna see opening up the PCSX2 emulator is obviously not a bunch of games. The first thing they're gonna ask you for are those BIOS files. So for example, I'll go ahead and navigate it through my settings. Your BIOS files are gonna be on your desktop, just as I have them, right? They're on my D drive, PS2 BIOS. For me, obviously, I'm from America, so I'm clicking the USA BIOS or boot file, and that's pretty much it. If I'm being very honest with you, the emulator is already more than halfway completed. The only thing you would need to do is get games. Disclaimer, I don't support piracy. However, now that that's out the way, a lot of you guys are probably going to get your file in the same type of zip folder. It's going to be an ISO, right? I personally always put it on my game drive or the root of my game drive. So for example, these are all of my ISO files. I'll just go ahead and drag and drop. And now what's going to happen is when you boot up the PCSX2, once we're done letting this load, so let me let it load. Alright, so once you let that game copy over, and let's say for example you're just like me who put the game in your game drive, all you're gonna do is go to game list. It's gonna ask you where you want to search or where you want the PCSX2 emulator to search. You can search from one hard drive. You could put two hard drives if you have different hard drives with multiple games. Either way, I put it on my D drive, which is my game drive, and this is the new game that I have, Lego Batman, right? And before I get into anything else, I, just like you, hate these blue covers, which brings me to my last link that I'm going to be providing in the description. It's this GitHub. I believe his name is Lenore. He's the one who started this, and he provided everybody a way to get covers on the game. So of course, there's two different links. There's a 2D link or a 2D cover link, and then a 3D cover link. So for this example, I'll be using a 3D cover. I'll go ahead and get it copied. Go back to PCSX2, click on Tools, Cover Downloader. Go ahead and paste that link and press Start. And it'll let me know that the download's complete 100%. And as you can see now, my Lego Batman video game has a 3D cover, which is hella dope, right? Now, if you wanted to play right off the bat, you can just double click it, but just as any other enthusiast of emulators would tell you, you should go hit up those settings. And PCSX2, especially the nightly build, has a bunch of settings that you can configure. So you right click the game, click properties, and it'll let you know the serial number of the game, which is very useful if you're trying to get like HD texture packs, which I'll probably more than likely show you by the end of this video. One thing you can always go through is interface. So confirm shutdown, meaning when you go to close out the application, it'll ask you if you want to save the game. Inhibit screensaver is something I always enable. Enable Discord presence. It'll let your Discord know what you're playing and at what point on the game you're on. You can also do other things like start the game in full screen instead of having to double click it to go to full screen. So definitely go through here, go through these settings, click what you want. Everything is preferable to you, right? I would also check out emulation. Go to the PCSX2 wiki. I'm gonna leave it down below. Make sure you're checking the compatibility of the game you're trying to play. A lot of games are playable. There's some games that are unfortunately not playable even on the newest builds of PCSX2. It's just the game, the build of the game is it's not playable, you know. But definitely go check it out because there's certain settings that right now off the bat you can play the game. Certain settings unfortunately you cannot. You need to edit certain settings. Definitely check the patches. So for example, there's a widescreen patch. I'll go ahead and enable that. If you're wanting to do cheats, the way you enable cheats on this PCSX2 emulator, the cheats come in like a text file. You go ahead and put them in the cheats folder, which I'll show you when I'm doing the textures. And that's pretty much it. Or I guess I'll show you now. If you go to your main file explorer, go to documents, you should see a PCSX2 folder. Click it open, the cheats file or the folders right here, you'll put your text files into here. And same thing with your textures, you're gonna put your textures into this folder. The last thing I want to mention, or the last couple of things, obviously on adapter. So if we go to graphics on adapter, you want to click your graphics card. I always have my games running on Vulkan. I have an AMD system, so it runs it beautifully. And as you can see here in display, you can edit things like anti-blur. You can edit all of these settings, your rendering. So I have all these games rendering at about 5K. And then texture replacement. So let's say, for example, if you're somebody who wants to replace the textures in the game, it's very simple to do. A lot of the textures are gonna come in packs. So like for example, I downloaded a Midnight Club 3 texture pack, right? And this is basically the file that you're gonna be receiving when you download a texture pack for any game if they have texture packs. Because unfortunately there's certain games that people don't waste their time making a texture pack. The game's not very popular. Maybe you like it, maybe you can make it, you know, who knows. However, they're gonna come with the serial number of the game, and all you literally do is go back to that file explorer, go to documents, PCSX2, textures, and then you're gonna drag and drop the file. Now however, make sure it's matching the serial number of your game. So I'm gonna close out the Batman and I'm gonna go to my Midnight Club just to show you. The serial number of my game is 21355. The HD pack that I received is /21355. The last step, once you put that folder into the textures folder on your documents, you'll go on over here to the graphics, texture replacement. Make sure you have load textures enabled and asynchronous texture loading enabled. That's pretty much it. As you're playing, the new textures that you have are the replacements, the HD, you know, higher definition files of those textures will be already rendering in your game. So it's really dope. The last thing that I want to mention, which is my personal favorite thing about PCSX2, the fact that you have achievements. So if you head on over to this website, which there's a link if you go to that achievements tab, it'll bring you to this website, Retro Achievements. Go ahead and sign up for an account, email, password, regular stuff. Once you have that account, you can go back to PCSX2, excuse me, it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Sign in with your account. Make sure you come here, enable achievements, show achievement notifications, enable sound effects, and enable in-game overlays. And you'll have access to earning achievements as you're playing old games that we used to love and still love that didn't have achievements back then. So that's like a very good added feature. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want to see, I'll start up Lego Batman. As you can see, there's achievements for this game, right? It already automatically loaded. It let me know how much achievements they are. There's a widescreen patch already pre-enabled on this game. So as you can see, it's already fit to widescreen. Everything's going good, right? So I'm just gonna kind of wait till everything loads up. Remember, this game is rendering right now at 5K. So is it the same way that we used to render it or have it on PlayStation 2? No, hell no. And let's see if we can kind of skip so you guys can see some gameplay. And as you can see too, PCSX2 has been updated so much, man. I mean, things load up so much quicker. any game you want to play, it's super playable. I would definitely recommend it. And as you can see, we're going through a bunch of cutscenes and stuff right now, which are super cool, but I got my point out the way. That's how you get everything up and running. If you guys want another tutorial, if you feel like maybe there's something that I missed out, leave it below in the description. I'll go over it. Or, excuse me, in the comment section, not in the description. My bad, I'm talking too much. But either way, I got way more videos coming out. Again, thank you guys for the love y'all have been showing on the shorts. And it makes me want to push, right? Doing that and continue to play these older games. I want to start doing at least 2 long form videos. So let me know how y'all feel about that. But either way, I've been rambling. Y'all already know.